If complaining were an Olympic sport, our next guest would take home the gold in their podcast. Check it out.
I've had it with pictures of food.
I've had it.
It's when I look at photography, looking at pictures of food is just not that interesting to me.
No, it's just one of the downsides of a cell phone. Everybody thinks everybody cares about what they're eating.
And I've been to dinner with
Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan are the hosts of the mega popular I've Had It. The Oklahoma City-based duo dish on everything from politics to pop culture and more. And now they are out with a new book. It's called Life is a Lazy Susan of Bleep. You know what that is.
Yep.
You know what that word is.
Yeah.
Sandwiches. Yes, there is a word in that title. We're not allowed to say it or show it, but Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan are here to talk about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we're making a lot of this title, but I think it's important for people to understand why you wanted it to be this way and what the inspiration for it was.
Well, we had a very difficult period of life, which we talk about in the book, where it was like life was exploding on alternating days by alternating hours. And that was kind of our catchphrase. We would sit there and be just like, life is just a lazy Susan of just all this. Yeah. And so the book title came out. Of course, they didn't want to publish it with a curse word. But we thought it was really important because it's authentic to what we're talking about.
And talk about a lazy Susan, though. You put the stuff on.
Right, the lazy Susan, you spin it around.
No matter where you spun, there was something.
There's something missing. Another one of those sandwiches.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
There's some crap.
So Andy, you write a lot about these sandwiches that you've dealt with, including addiction, divorce from your husband, just to name a couple.
A husband who was boinking a stripper.
Yes.
Before they got married.
I mean, there's a lot of...
And I married him.
And you married him.
Yes.
Married him.
I was screaming.
I was about to say, do you want to share a detail about this? There it is, right?
Right.
I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it
Right.
came to these sandwiches for you.
Yes, it was. And I think that I was under the impression that marriage would change everything.
Yes.
It would be better once we got married. Everything would be perfect. I was supposed to get married, have kids, do this thing. And it's like, that's really not how life worked. So I was completely unprepared for all of the lazy Susan that kept coming my way.
But both of you had a lot of life's ups and downs, some more than others. But Jen, I like how the two of you even got together. Would you tell the backstory of quickly about how you two met?
Yes, so my husband is an attorney, she is an attorney, and she was looking for an interior designer. And she called me, and I went over, and I immediately recognized that she was in desperate need of an interior designer because she was maybe 30, 31, and it was Grandma City inside this house. And so, I mean, I came in and completely fixed it up because Pumps is a very attractive woman.
Yeah, her nickname is Pumps.
Pumps, yeah.
Yeah, her house needed to match this hot woman sitting next to me.
But the beauty of what you guys do is you said sometimes there's nothing wrong with a good old gripe session.
That's right.
Sometimes a good complaint goes a long way. And you talk about in the defense of Karens, because most of us think, Karen, nobody wants to be a Karen.
Yeah.
But I think some of us have had Karen moments. And you say being a Karen is not always a bad thing.
I am a Karen.
Owning it.
Just own it. And sometimes I feel like you just have to do it. Like my kids will be like, don't. And I'm like, I'm super nice, a tip great. I never blame it on the person, but just like, I'm going to need better out of all of it.
Some of that. I'm a Karen coattail rider.
Okay.
You get the benefits.
I cringe and I die.
But you love it.
When the waitress is taking a really long time to come over and she just pops up and goes into the kitchen and hawks her out and finds her, I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, that's terrible. But meanwhile, I'm like, this is great. So you can kind of ride a Karen coattail without being the Karen. And so, yes.
So how do you find the balance between venting and adding value, between ranting and real talk for your base, especially that listens to you?
Or being obnoxious. Yeah, there's
I
a
think
line.
just being authentic about what we believe in and who we are. And I think one of the things that I didn't know was like people are flawed, all of us.
No doubt.
And you have to own your flaws and you don't have to be perfect.
Very true.
So
You both talk about parenting in the book. Your kids are mostly grown now. What do you wish someone had told you about parenting when you first had children?
Oh my gosh, I wish they would have said it is not as advertised.
Right.
What you have been sold. You know, when you're little, you think when I'm big, I'm gonna do this. And when I'm a mom, I'm gonna do this with my kids. And you have all of these grand ambitions. The next thing you know, you're sitting in a restaurant, your kid's having a stage 5 meltdown, snot slinging. You're like, here's your iPad. Right. You know?
Right.
You immediately realize how difficult it is. And so it's also, I think, understanding compound emotions. Parenting is wonderful. It's the best thing that ever happened to you. Well, at the same time, it's the worst thing
It's
that ever
difficult,
happened to you
too.
because you're alive, you're in kid
Yeah.
jail. You are incarcerated
Yeah.
with these kids.
But I love it, though. I
Love it.
I love it, and I love the
it.
relationship that you have, the two of you.
Yep.
I mean, Jen said she didn't know she was competitive until she took up pickleball, and then she got beat by a 75-year-old woman in a knee brace.
Yeah.
You learn some things about
did
yourself.
learn some
You
things.
cannot underestimate a 70-year-old in a knee brace on a pickleball court. I mean, they are silent killers, I'm telling you.
You guys are amazing. The podcast is amazing. President Obama has been on it. Jennifer
Yes.
Welch, Angie Sullivan, thank you both very, very much. Life is a Lazy Susan of you-know-what sandwiches is on sale now.